All right, so I want to talk today about the film Tar, which is the latest film by writer and director Todd Field. Now, if you're familiar with Todd Field, he actually hasn't directed a movie since 2006 with Little Children, and before that, it was 2001's In the Bedroom. Now, personally speaking, I think Little Children and In the Bedroom are two phenomenal movies, wonderfully put together and wonderfully directed. So when Todd Field was coming back with a new movie, I was very, very excited because he's somebody who hasn't directed a movie in 15 years. But at the same time, I respect a director's decision to not really step into that chair until they're ready to tell a story that they're really passionate about. So now that we have Tar, I was very excited to see what this one was about and to see just exactly what he was going to give us after such a hiatus as the one that he just went through. Now, of course, you have not only him as writer and director, but you have Cate Blanchett, who is at the forefront of this movie. So what can you really, what's going to go wrong, right? When you have two of them, two really talented people putting this movie together. Now, I got to say, Tar was probably one of my favorite movies I've seen all year. It is so mind-blowing from start to finish. I was very captivated just as the movie began to the way the movie concluded. This is a movie that is a very slower-paced film, but at the same time, very interesting to, grasp. I really just loved, sinking my teeth into this character, watching Cate Blanchett just do what she does phenomenally, in any role that she's in. Whether the movie is not that great, I think Cate Blanchett knows how to take kind of a weak script and really give the life that it needs. But that isn't to say that this is what Tar is about. Tar was already a beautifully written project, and she just kind of helped carry that story forward even further. I think Cate Blanchett, probably her best movie I've ever seen her in, personally speaking. She did speak on this while she was promoting it, saying that this is probably one of the most transformational roles that she's ever played. And there's a reason for that. When you watch it, you can just see the amount of just hard work that she had to put together to put this movie together. Now, mind you, when I say you could see the hard work, I don't necessarily mean you could see the effort, because she, as always, in my opinion, makes films look effortless. The way she acts, the way she crafts, the way she carries a character, she just does a phenomenal job. And watching her as Lydia Tarr, chef's kiss. Again, best role I think I've ever seen her in. So complex, so many layers, so many things that we have to kind of focus on. There's a lot of different elements to this character that we're seeing here. Now, as you may or may not already know, Lydia Tarr is one of the most world-renowned conductors in the orchestra world, and she's phenomenal at it. She's almost like a genius, if you will. And as the movie is progressing, we kind of see the descent into madness, the downfall, things that are happening in her personal life, things that are happening outside of that, things that are including her. We kind of see the manic episodes that she goes through, certain allegations that are kind of thrown her way, which we don't know are true or not, but we are given kind of glimpses into the possibility that she did have involvement in these accusations. And then, of course, there are moments just like during a quieter time that we kind of witness and just see those subtle nuances. We hear haunting screams of women as she's running, all these different layers that are just factoring in, and we're starting to wonder what is real and what isn't. Did this happen? Did it not happen? And I think Cate Blanchett is the exact, the perfect actress that you need to kind of carry a movie like this, because it is so layered, like I said, and so complex, but you need an actress that's going to understand that material and just give the audience exactly what we want, which is this spectacular performance. If Cate Blanchett isn't recognized this this award season, then she is really going to be snubbed. Now, I don't really believe that actors do movies for praise in terms of awards. However, because there are award seasons and award shows, I'm going to stand right here and say that you need to recognize Cate Blanchett for her work in this movie. Again, by far her best work to date. Tar is one of those movies that runs nearly 3 hours long, yet for me, it didn't personally feel that way because I was personally engaged from the beginning. And just the way the movie kind of comes to a close, I just sat there like this the whole time, just wanting to know more about her, wanting to see what was going to happen to her. And what's interesting to me, and the last thing I want to mention here, is that this is not a biopic. Before even, knowing that this was just complete fiction, I thought this was a non-fiction tale. I thought this was a true story about an actual composer who was going through these things. They tell it that way. And when I came to that it was not the case, I was blown away by how well they orchestrated this. No pun intended, because the film's about orchestra. But the way they conducted this movie, I made another one, and just how great and I don't know, they told it very well. Todd Field, you know, my hat's off to you. You did an incredible job writing and directing. Cate Blanchett, terrific job performance-wise. And this is one of those movies that if you have a moment to check out or watch, I definitely recommend you do. You're not going to want to miss it. Again, it's one of those movies that I think a lot quieter, but so big in terms of its theme, even though it's one of those more silent type films. Beautiful movie. And I can't wait to watch it again.